Hello and welcome to Thursday's video, and my name is Gail Moffat, and I do lots of videos where I'm able to connect to God and He is here with me. And just before I go to Him, don't forget to subscribe. So, it would be so helpful because it means that it pushes me up on the Google or YouTube algorithms and sort of allows more people to watch. So thank you for that. Anyway, over to God. He's saying to me that he has been pondering over today's video because he feels that the words that he is going to speak about today are words that for some may wholeheartedly disagree with, and for others they may accept and embrace. And he hopes that it is the latter for you, because it is never his intention to hurt somebody or cause pain or anguish in people's minds, but he feels that the truth is long overdue, and he needs to express himself so that people are knowledgeable of him, his world, and his intentions. And so today he would like to talk about an aspect of his world that he feels causes a lot of contention or a lot of concern in people's minds and a lot of misunderstanding, and he feels that this is his opportunity to put things right, so that the understanding can be given to all of you. And he says that he wants to talk about the workings of his world and the connection that he has to hell. And he says that you can imagine when a soul comes back to his world that has committed crime after crime after crime and has hurt numerous people along the way. And he says that these are souls where I always have a lot of difficulty in choosing my options, because I always wish to assure myself that I am doing the wrong thing. So he says that he always will spend much time in his mind and with his thoughts as to which is the best direction for any soul, and he will always try and do the best for the soul. And he says that when hell is an option, he says that is absolutely what he considers to be one of the last resorts, because he always wishes to avoid sending a soul to hell. For in his mind, he feels that hell is a place where it causes people to look within themselves, and yes, that is a good thing, he says, but the problem he finds is that when people look within themselves and they are surrounded by people that are of the same ilk, they struggle to do that job, to do that role, even though there are times when people do achieve coming out of hell and coming back to him. And so his point here is that he wants people to understand that he is linked very closely to Lucifer and to hell, and he will always spend at least some time within the day, he's saying, within the day, where he will communicate with Lucifer and talk to him about the improvements and about the difficulties and what can be done and what he can do to help him on the quest of helping some of the souls that are struggling to move themselves within their heart chakra and center to the light. And he is saying that Of course, this is always his objective. His objective is that he wishes for people to realise that there is only one way, and that is to be helpful to each other and kind and loving and always come from the heart with love. And he's saying that if a soul decides that they are ready to move across to his world, if they decide that, then he will be as eager as anyone to embrace them and to help them in their positivity and in their new way of thinking, and give them opportunities that will help them secure their being in the light. And he knows that for some people that are residing in hell, that they will choose a life within the confines of hell and won't be willing to redeem themselves or be repentant or look to come to the light. And this is something that really saddens him. He feels that all of mankind should find their way to the light and find their way to being in a better frame of mind and in a better way of looking at life. And he's saying that with all of the difficulties that these souls have when they are in the confines of hell, he looks to Lucifer with great respect and great and honors him greatly because of the work that he does. Because sadly, sadly he's saying, he's correcting me, don't change his words. Sadly, he says, Sadly, he says that for some people in the confines of hell will only come back to his world with conditions, or, well, I will do this if you do this for me, and sort of try to manipulate him. And when this happens, he realizes that actually they're not repentant, actually they're not ready to move across to his world and move across to the light. And so he will instruct Lucifer at that time to maintain his work with them and continue to persuade them that there is another way. Once somebody comes across to his world, he says that there is not only the agreement from him to help them and get them across to another way of life and another way of being, but there is also a lot of rejoicing in his world where people are happy also that this has happened, because nobody in my world that is close to me wishes for a soul to be within the confines of hell. They all wish for people to succeed and they wish for people to be loving and supportive to another. He says that he thanks you for listening and wishes to pray, and he brings my hands up to me and bows my head. He's thanking you for all listening, and he wishes to make this statement. With all of his world and the earth plane, there are some souls that do not understand that being in the light is the only way. And for those souls, he will do as much as he possibly can to help them understand that there is only one way, and that is a future within the light. For some, they find it difficult to find their way to the light, but for others, they achieve this and they come away from the confines of hell and move across to the light and start to embark on a journey which is recovering their soul from the darkness and the depravity of the life that has gone before them. And he's thanking you for listening. Well, this is... God has spoken on a number of occasions about hell and sort of what he does with hell, and whenever he does, I always find it quite interesting. The reason why I find it interesting is because, you know, it's like a belief set that we have where Lucifer is sort of evil himself, and yet he's not evil. He's just within the confines of a place that where people are evil, and it's sort of like in a way he's educating us. He's showing us the truth of what this is all about, and I know that this topic is always controversial, and so does he, obviously, because he said it right at the beginning. But I hope that this makes sense, because the one thing that I think about is, if God sends somebody to hell, then he is obviously in an arrangement with hell and is working with hell. Otherwise he wouldn't be sending people there. And for me that makes sense. So anyway, I thank you for listening, and I will see you on Sunday. Okay, goodbye.